Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the stripping is done, we'll take our leave and go. Ahoy, mateos! It is again March 11th, 2026, 10:26 a.m. And my son is still sleeping. So I'm taking this opportunity to tell you about an article I read this morning. I'm going to post the link in the description and in the comments. It was posted by my friend Irene Tansman. She has a YouTube channel too. She's advocating for her son. So I'm going to make a script. Everybody needs to know this is what's happening. This is why they're not safe. Are you a parent who's raising a child that may need lifelong care? Have you ever wondered what could happen if the system decides someone else should make decisions for your child? Or if someday someone tells you when you can visit them? I recently came across an article that should horrify everyone. It talks about a situation in Massachusetts involving a corporate guardian in the Department of Developmental Services. And what the article reveals raises some very serious questions about transparency, oversight, and the rights of families. As a parent who is currently navigating guardianship decisions for my own child, this story hits very close to home. Because what happens in systems like this affects families like mine and yours. The article reports that a nonprofit organization called TLC Trust has been serving as a corporate guardian for individuals served by the Department of Developmental Services. Guardianship is supposed to protect people who cannot legally make certain decisions for themselves. In theory, a guardian steps in to help ensure that a vulnerable person is safe, cared for, and protected. But according to this report, something strange happened when a journalist started asking questions about the contract between the state and this guardian. The Department of Developmental Services was asked to provide documentation for the contract. They only produced 1 page of a 5-page contract. The rest of the contract was missing. The journalist then contacted the state controller's office to see if they had the contract. The controller's office said they didn't have it either. So now we have a situation where a corporate guardian has been operating under a state contract, but the full contract itself cannot be produced. That alone raises serious questions about oversight and transparency. The family visitation issue. But the story becomes even more concerning when you look at what some families are experiencing. The article highlights 2 individuals whose guardianship is handled by this organization. Their families say that visitation with their loved ones has been restricted. Think about that for a moment. Parents and family members saying they are being limited in their ability to visit their own loved ones. And according to the article, those restrictions may actually conflict with the department's own dignity standards. These standards are supposed to protect the rights of individuals with developmental disabilities, including their right to maintain relationships with the family. So when a guardian restricts family visitation, the question becomes, who is overseeing that decision? Who is making sure the guardian is following the rules? And what recourse do families have if they believe those decisions are wrong? Those are not small questions. They go into the heart of how guardianship systems operate. Lack of transparency. The journalist who wrote this article tried to get answers. They asked the Department of Developmental Services several very basic questions. Questions like, was there a master agreement with this guardian? Were the qualifications of this organization evaluated? How does the department monitor whether guardians follow dignity standards? To date, the department has not provided answers to those questions. When government agencies refuse to answer basic questions about systems that control the lives of vulnerable people, that should concern all of us. Transparency is not optional when people's rights and relationships are involved. My perspective as a parent, try to keep me away from my kid. Oh my God, I can only imagine what my videos would be like. Now, I want to be very clear about something. Guardianship can be necessary. There are individuals with profound disabilities who truly cannot make certain legal or medical decisions independently. Many parents, including myself, pursue guardianship because we want to protect our children. But guardianship also concentrates a lot of power in the hands of whoever holds that authority. And when systems lack transparency or oversight, families can become vulnerable to decisions that remove them from the picture. As a parent navigating guardianship right now, stories like this matter deeply to me because I want to make sure that any system designed to protect my child also respects our family relationship. Parents should not be erased from their children's lives simply because guardianship exists. Message to other parents. I also think about younger parents entering the system today. Many of them are being told by professionals, agencies, and experts how everything should be done. And professionals can be incredibly helpful, but parents also bring something that no system can replace. We know our children. We advocate for them every single day, and sometimes we are the only consistent voice they have. So it's important that parents feel empowered to ask questions, to understand the systems affecting their children, and to speak up when something doesn't feel right. And that's why I'm speaking. That's why I built this ship, and that's why I want you to join my crew. Us parents have got to unite and get these policies changed. They're not doing anybody any favors. What good is a guardian when the guardian doesn't even really know the person they're guardianshipping for? This is not safe. I don't even think some of this stuff is ethical, what they're doing. Stories like the one in this article remind us why transparency and accountability matter. Systems that serve vulnerable people must be open to scrutiny. Families deserve answers. And individuals with developmental disabilities deserve systems that truly protect their dignity in relationships. If you're a parent walking this path too, you're not alone. And maybe it's time we start having more open conversations about guardianship, family rights, and the system that affect our children's lives. Because protecting our children doesn't end when the paperwork is signed. Sometimes that's when the real advocacy begins. So, there you go. And then I had some questions about this payment thing, because I'm wondering if a Somali, Minnesota Somali thing is going on with this, like's going on over in Minnesota. I mean, the world is their oyster of money to steal from American citizens. So they got paid from that article $125,000 a year. That's not per client. It's the total amount paid by the state to the organization for the guardianship services. So I'm guessing, what is it, one guy? Doing just checking the boxes and signing the papers? I don't know. I'm asking questions. Who are these people watching out for our vulnerable citizens? Who are they? And I just had some questions more about the finances. And honestly, I don't really know what other questions to ask besides, what do these professional guardians do? What is their actual job description? And where's the paperwork? I've just gone through a whole bunch of paperwork. I do a shit ton of paperwork. How are they doing this without all the paperwork for the clients? I don't even know. That's why this channel is here. I'm trying to figure it out. And let me tell you, walking myself through all these videos and then editing them and then watching them, I'm starting to absorb this stuff. And I'm going to be a power player in policy change. Ahoy, mateys. Have a nice day. You might see me back again. Who knows? Ahoy! Raise the mast. Set the sails. Off we go!